Man, this dumbbell, this $769 dumbbell, it feels good. I can't believe the Sigma came out with this expensive dumbbell. It weighs quite a bit too, but it looks like I can go from a small one to a really large one. I mean, look at that thing. Look how glorious that is. Okay, so Sigma released this all-in-one travel zoom lens. It's 16 to 300 millimeters on my Fuji H2HS.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
And I love this thing, but I hate this thing at the same time. I mean, I will just save you some time right now. The reason why I hate it is because it's so big.
That's what she said.
It's like 600 plus grams, and it's a little bit longer, but the focal length from 16 super wide all the way to 300 is wonderful. I took it with me to Atlanta recently for my niece's birthday party, and it worked out great. And I loved it, except for that one thing where it's so big, and the aperture, it changes from 3.5 to like 6.5. And granted, you know, I already knew that ahead of time, so I wouldn't use this indoors so much because you're not gonna get the best low light capabilities. It worked for me because I'm okay with a little bit of noise, but it worked wonderfully well outside in the sun. Put an ND filter on there. I was able to like sit down at the pool right there, and I could just see her from far away, like so far away. And she was so happy and joyful, and I could just see her and get those wonderful memories that I love and cherish so much. And I love the ability to be able to like talk to it and walk around and vlog with it and see her at the same time and the rest of my family. Or, you know, if you really want to, you can spy and creep on your neighbors from really far away. Granted, that's probably not what Sigma really wanted, but hey, you do you. I'm shooting with this lens pretty much this whole video besides I think the intro and the B-roll. Spec sheet, you know, everyone's like, oh, what are the specs of it? It's 16 to 300 millimeters on the APS-C side. That's like 24 to 450, which is a ridiculous amount of throw right there. I'll have it all listed on here, that way you know. The aperture is 3.5 to 6.7, and granted that 3.5 is mainly on the 16 end, and then it gets really fast, and it changes to 6.7 pretty quickly. I'll tell you exactly when it changes, and I'll have like maybe a graph. I'm sure somebody has something of that nature. I really didn't pay attention to it too much, but you get to 6.7 pretty quick. The minimum focus distance, which honestly doesn't matter to me in video because I'm just more video centric here, is 6.7 inches, which I don't know when I'm gonna get that close. Granted, my niece, she really wanted to get up close to the camera, and I could still see her face just right there. It is 615 grams in comparison to like my smaller Sigma 18 to 50, which is about 285 grams. So that's a big difference. This is like 3 of those things, and it's way bigger. It's just a really chunky boy, and I'll have like how long it is, and it extends quite long, which I guess if you're comparing sizes, it would probably be better to have this lens. But I digress. It's got a 67 millimeter filter thread, which honestly is like the most common one that I have. Put all my ND filters on there, my mist filter. Haven't found any polarizers that I like with video and ND filters, but I'm working on that right now. And it's weather sealed. Granted, I haven't taken out in the rain or anything of that nature, and I probably be a little hesitant about it. And if you're taking out on the beach, it's gonna get sand in that, like the zoom range, because it extends so long into the barrel, you're gonna run into an issue there, more than likely. It does have a lock switch, which is nice because when you store it away, it's not gonna like zoom out. The turning switch for the zoom is actually quite tight. It's not very loose, So it does take a little bit of pressure to actually get that going. It has no aperture ring. Most of these lenses are not gonna have aperture rings, and that's the issue with a lot of them, because I love myself an aperture ring, but you know, you pay for what you get with the all travel zoom here. And it does have optical stabilization, and granted, when you're at 300, it's so hard to hand hold this and keep it steady. On a tripod, obviously, it's gonna do great, but I do mostly hand holding, and you can tell when it's turned off how terrible it is. Like at the 300, you can see all those micro jitters, and I'm trying to hold as stable as possible. But when you're zooming in and out, it works pretty good, and I'll show you some footage of that. And hopefully, you know, you can hold it closer to your body, and obviously it's gonna be more stable. You use this for vlogging, of course you can. That's the one thing I do like, because we're at the 16, and it's wide enough for me to get this type of angle. Got an ND filter on, sun's shining, turn it up just a smidge, and you can see how it does. And you can test out the stabilization as well here. But it works out very well. And I can zoom it in all into my face, which you probably don't want to see. But look at that. Then I can turn around and spy my neighbors like this. Watch this. 16 in, go all the way in, and look at their window, which is creepy, but it's doable. Try your best not to spy on your neighbor too much though, because then that's called harassment. Yeah, of course, autofocus is one of the most important things. I will tell you, the autofocus, the main thing I love about this is on my Sigma lens, the smaller 18 to 50, when I zoom from all the way out and zoom in, it really hunts for focus a lot of the times, and that's so annoying in video. In the images, it's not so bad. Of course, you know, I'm not gonna talk about picture quality as much here, but video-wise, it has very, very little focus breathing. You can see when it tries to hunt. Now, granted, the focus on a Fuji system, you're just gonna have to deal with it. But when you like zoom from 16 to 300, or even in that middle range, it doesn't hunt as much, you know? It doesn't have that weird, like it's just hunting for it, and then it'll finally get to it, and then it'll go and focus. This one, when you kind of just reach out for it, it kind of gets and locks on it. It doesn't have that kind of warping either as well. Of course, you're dealing with Fuji, so autofocus, you know how that is. Sharpness of this lens, I mean, for video, I don't want the sharpest lens ever. Now, if you're taking pictures at the wide end and the 300, you're probably gonna get the sharpest image, I'll just be honest. In that middle, it's a little gray. If you're talking about bokeh, there's really not that much. I had maybe a little bit, if you're zoomed all the way out, even at like 300 millimeters, you're not gonna get the best bokeh, but I don't think you're buying this lens for bokeh. I bought this lens, it was $699, which is a very good price. I'm sure now it's like probably like $740 or whatever the tariffs are, US dollars. So I'll post something on here, the most recent one. Luckily, I got it when I did. Then you're gonna ask me, why didn't you get the Tamron 18 to 300? Because number one, 16-18's a huge difference. I feel like some people will be like, oh, it's only 2 millimeters. I just needed something more wide, and it still gets that reach. Now, the big difference is the Tamron. Whenever you zoom in, zoom out, most reviewers have been saying that you kind of get that warping, that really bad autofocus. So that's why I didn't get that in video. In images, it's not gonna affect you as bad. So take that for what you will. I think it's on sale a lot of times too. So this one is gonna be more expensive. I believe this one is actually lighter than that one. So, and it doesn't extend as long, I'm thinking. Either way, the main reason I bought it was because they're about the same size, and the Sigma does not have as bad as zooming in and out, that focus breathing, that warping is the main reason. But in conclusion, would I buy this lens again? Absolutely. Am I gonna take this with me on my trip to Europe, which I probably need to pack for right now because we leave tomorrow in like 12 hours and I have very little time? I'm probably not gonna take this, just because the only reason I say that is because it's bulky. It will probably do everything that I need to do to get every shot, every piece of video, every memory that I need, but I need a compact setup. Plus, if someone sees me with this big long lens, they'll be like, oh man, I'm gonna steal that thing. I'm gonna take that thing from him. So I'm trying to avoid that. I'm trying to be as compact as possible, use as little as possible, and work with it. But if I wasn't going to Europe, if I was going to go on my other cruises, go on like the Caribbean or any of those scenarios where I'm not traveling so far away and having so many pickpockets.
Is that what you think? You think?
I'd probably take it with me because it pretty much does everything. And I'm happy about it. Except for I just don't want to carry it around. So take that for however you will. But it has a lot of pros, it's got a lot of cons. And I think size is the main determining factor for me.
That's what she said.
If it helped you out whatsoever, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how you feel about it. Tell me if you're going to pick this up. Use my affiliate links down below and help me out. I'll make me some money, be rich, make some more videos for you. Oh yeah, and of course, you know, this is not sponsored by Sigma because I ain't that popular. Oh well. And lastly, just because, you know, everyone's going to be like, why didn't you take any pictures with it? Why is there no pictures? For shits and giggles, I'm going to throw some pictures on here. It did great. If y'all are going to pixel peep on this, you're probably going to be like, that's not sharp in the corners or some shit like that. I don't care. I do use this for video. I like taking pictures, but that's not my main focus.